Farmer Will Allen and the Growing Table with your reader. We're going to talk about the activity that we have planned for you today. You should have in your classroom a planting tray with a lid, seeds, seed tags, some water, an 8-ounce cup, worm castings, and potting soil. So on our tags, we're going to have one that says control, one that says 1 to 1, one that's 1 to 4, and one that's 1 to 8. We'll explain this later. Make sure you have water in your spray bottle. You'll need this to water your seeds. We would like for you to take a look at the worm castings and also your potting soil and try and recognize the differences between the two things. As you can see, this container has 12 cells. There are 4 rows of 3. Each row can take up to 4 ounces of soil. In the first row, so row 1, we're going to make this the control. You're going to take your potting soil and spray in your bag. You'll spray until that gets a little damp. Next, you'll take your cup. Your cup can hold up to 8 ounces. You only need 4 to fill your tray. So you'll scoop until you get 4 ounces. Pour those evenly within the first row. Make sure when you are putting both potting soil and worm castings in your cup that you're mixing them up before you pour them in the cells that they belong in. Our next row, row 2, will be the 1 to 1. Here you're going to spray in both your potting soil and your worm castings. And because it's 1 to 1, you will do equal parts potting soil to worm castings. If you have 4 ounces, you would do 2 ounces of potting soil and 2 ounces of worm castings. Our next one is 1 to 4. So in this, we're going to have 75% potting soil and 25% worm castings. I'm going to start with the worm castings and scoop 1 ounce into our cup and fill the rest up to 4 ounces with potting soil. You can use your hands. Once you have 4 ounces, you'll pour that in that row. Don't forget to leave your tags in so you know what is what. Our last one is 1 to 8 ratio. Make sure you're keeping your soil nice and damp by spraying in your bag in between every scoop. On your cup, you're going to see all the ounces listed. So for 1 to 8, we're using half of an ounce of worm castings and 3.5 ounces of potting soil. So you'll pour that right in the bottom, and it's gonna come just up to this lip here. Once you're done putting those in, mix it up and pour it in that final row. So once we have all of our soil in, and you can see I didn't actually put any in here because I'm saving it for you, you'll have your control, which is the most amount of potting soil. Then you'll have the most amount of worm castings, the middle amount of worm castings, and the least amount of worm castings. Once you have all those filled, you'll want to put a little hole in each of the tops to be able to plant your seeds. These seeds are sweet basil seeds. They should grow pretty quickly, and that's why we're using them. You might have a different type of seed depending on what we had available. Once that's done, you'll want to cover up the seeds after you've made the hole and put the seed in, and take your water bottle and spray each of your cells with water. So what do you think is going to happen? We did something different in each of these rows. Do you know what a hypothesis is? It's kind of like a guess. What's your guess on what's going to happen? Do you think that the seeds will grow best in just potting soil? Or do you think they need a little bit or a lot of it of your vermicompost that you've added? Thank you for joining us for Agricultural Literacy Week here in Madison County. We hope you enjoyed the book Farmer Will Allen and the Growing Table, and I hope you enjoyed the activity that we had planned for you today. We would like to say thank you to New York State Ag in the Classroom, as well as Madison County Farm Bureau.